consistent mostly. Had a couple stops, one away to Wright State, but he's back here at Western Michigan as the tip is won by his visiting Broncos here today.
The Titans come out in the zone defense, really active. They played a lot of that in the past. This year they kind of went away and been playing a lot of man-to-man, but went back to starting the game off in the zone.
Did the same in their last game versus Kent State as well. It's something they've been working on quite a bit in practice the last couple weeks. 2 seconds to shoot, fades one away, not quite, and Harvey is there for the board.
Matt Johnson doing a good job that time, getting out on the zone, getting a hand up in the face and forced to miss.
Curious to see what Matt does with the starting nod here today. He's kind of been in and out of this lineup. A few minutes here, a few minutes there. But he's a guy that can score in spurts like a lot of these players. A catch wide open, drives it to the 10, count it.
Cat's making the right decision on that, looking at it, not selling for the long shot, put it on the floor and was able to attack. And a good pass that time by Willie.
Talked about Willie Isiani, kind of the everything guy for this team. He'll take your charges, he'll hit the threes, dish out some dimes, just what they need for an offense that's kind of struggled to score. Western Michigan trying to get all the pieces in check as well. Shot clock down to 5 now. Pump fake on the far side. One more pass, don't really have time for it. Launching it in time, but shy.
Once again, that zone defense effective right there. Running it all the way down, forced them to take a long shot that they didn't want to take.
Harvey on the near wing here. Just what you saw there, physicality, and something that we've heard from the coaching staff. They think that Antoine is being bodied up and physical more than he ever has.
Yeah, he took a hard fall that time. It looked a little scary the way he fell down. Body's filling out a little bit. He's got a little stronger coming into his senior year. But, yeah, they put a lot of bodies on him. They try to beat him up. They look at his body type. But he's able to overcome that.
With that said as well, he lost 8 pounds over that 10-day road trip. So not something he could really afford to do, but
that's a lot of traveling and a lot of being on the road. And I mean, this guy's on the move all the time, so he burns a lot of calories out there on the floor.
Curls for 3 here, got it.
That's one thing we know he can do, though. He can knock down that. Is always a good sign when that first one falls for him.
I feel like I gain weight when I go on road trips. But he's burning off all those calories, as you said.
Yeah, he plays 40 minutes a game. You know, he's at 39 minutes, I think, a game. He doesn't get probably 30 seconds of rest every time they play.
Martin gets the exchange here. Shot clock down to 7. And what you've seen here in the first 3 possessions for Western Michigan is something that's been common throughout their season. They're one of the slowest teams in Division I in terms of taking the amount of the shot clock off, 19 per possession. Just a couple teams slower.
Well, that could be to the Titans' advantage right now. They have to shoot the ball at the end of the shot clock.
Isiani and Harvey coupling together there. What a job to get something up. Titus Wright makes the most of it.
Titus with a double team that time, doing a good job. Patience, was able to get the ball over two defenders.
6'8", 220. A sophomore center out of Georgia. Here's Isiani. The exchange for Davis, drives and kicks for Johnson. Buys some space for 2.
That's another big part of Davis's game that time. His penetration is able to get to the basket. He can finish at the basket. That time making an excellent pass to Matt Johnson out of the corner for a soft little 8-footer.
7-2 Detroit Mercy here early on. Another empty possession for Western. They're 1 for 4 in the early goings. Here's that catch, wheeling and dealing to Harvey, and he can certainly do that when he's open, Earl.
And that's a guy that, to my time, we actually played Western Michigan back in the 70s, so it's been going on for quite a while.
Any good stories?
We won by a lot of points.
Adrian Martin off for Max Smith. Wright has the only points so far for Western Michigan. Again, the shot clock inside 5. Norman for 3.
I'll tell you what I like out of that zone. They are getting to the outside shooters in advance. They're not waiting for him to get that shot up. They got a hand in his face, really active in the zone.
Here comes Gus Etchison. It's a guy that we both really liked from the film we saw in their last game versus Valparaiso. Just a young freshman. You know who he reminds me of? Is Cole Gentry. Has those that kind of shiftiness to him, the vision.
And the way he's shooting is like Cole Gentry too. I mean, he can shoot the basketball. He's a spark plug for this team. Titans got to be aware of him coming in the game. Not able to score. You know, they brought the right guy in the game.
For those that don't know, Cole Gentry, a former point guard at Wright State a couple years ago on some of their good teams. Isiani had the jersey tugged, and they will give him 2 shots.
Yeah, I was wondering if it was obvious. You know, we could see his jersey pull back a mile that time. Good pass, and Willie getting inside. He'll get an opportunity for 2 shots on this. 2
early fouls on the Broncos thus far in this game. Detroit Mercy out to a 4 for 4 start from the field, 2 for 2 from 3. Western Michigan just 1 of 5.
I tell you, Willie works hard. You know, he does all the little things for this team. You know, he's always in position to take the charges on the defensive end of the floor. He helps stretches the floor with the 3 ball. He dives for loose balls, and you know, he's in his 4th year. But each year, you know, he seems to find his way. It's hard to keep him on that bench over there. And whether he's playing, whether he's starting, or whether he's coming off the bench, you know what you're going to get out of Willie, and that's 100%.
And something that stuck out to me in the last game, he was taking 7 attempts from 3. Only made 2. It was his first 2, but still, the last time he took 7 attempts was in the 1920 season. But that's what he was when he came in. He was a shooter, but his role evolved, and now it's back. It's kind of full circle. Smith off again to McMillan. Back to Smith. Their quickest shot possession-wise, midway through, it's no good.
See Noah Waterman is into the game right now, and that's a guy they definitely got to get acclimated into their offense.
Johnson with the offensive board, and he stepped out on the right baseline. A sly smile for Johnson as he backpedals the other way. This should give us a decent look.
Yes, 1 foot on that out of bounds line right there, and the officials are right on top of that.
Actually, wasn't even as close as I thought it was.
All the way across the line.
Inside again, looking for Wright, and Harvey denies again. He's been good defensively thus far. Couple rebounds as well. Here's Waterman freshly checked in.
You know that's his shot. He won't hesitate to take that one.
That was one of his confident shots we were used to seeing last year. Still working back into game form. Missed a lot of time, and even when he came back, really wasn't able to practice much with the team because of all the travel. As Smith doubles down low for 2.
That's an offensive rebound that time. Kind of caught the Titans off guard, and they were able to come in. Noah went for the block, committed to foul.
So Wright and Smith, the 2 only Broncos to score.
See him going up for the shot. He's able to lay it in easy over Waterman, brushed him a little bit on the arm. The officials could have let that one go.
Wasn't quite the jersey tug we saw.
It wasn't a real hard foul. It's more like a brush foul there.
McAdoo in for Harvey.
Seeing McAdoo come in his first home game, a local product from West Bloomfield High School, known for putting the ball in the basket.
Cameron Kimball also in for Western Michigan. Now it's 12-5 Detroit Mercy here. 6 minutes gone by. It's been a good start for the Titans. There's Aketch doing what Aketch does.
He's great at taking that ball to the basket. He's good off the dribble. He's long. He's rangy. A good job of getting in there and finishing that time.
Etchison looked a little off from the get-go. And Madoud is there for the rebound, trying to throw it long for Johnson. Good job by Max Smith to get out in front. Smith doubles down low to McMillan. Protect that Hastings. Norman tees one up. Still hasn't made a shot.
Norman struggled a little bit against Valparaiso. He's averaging about 19 points a game. Still a guy they got to keep their eyes on.
Waterman wide open, catch and shoot. Bingo!
It won't be long. You know, Waterman was out with concussion and took a long time off, and he's just trying to get his rhythm and get back in the flow, but we know what he's capable of.
And this 4 straight games, that was after the bump he got in the Wyoming contest. And there's Norman silencing the crowd a bit, 17-8.
Norman's a big-time scorer for him at 19 a clip.
1 for his first 4 thus far. The screen by Waterman there. Through traffic to a catch. Noah again on the wing this time. Shy.
Shot a little bit flat that time for Noah.
Western Michigan looking to get a good opportunity here. Trying to slice back into this game. Johnson tied him up and took it back. Here comes Matt off to squaring in.
Matt doing a good job seeing the mismatch that time. With Gus guarding him, he was able to take advantage of it, put his head down under control, was able to lay it in easy.
And Mike Davis said it to me before the game. Hey, we need Matt Johnson to be our defensive MVP. They're a bit small, this lineup is, and some uncharacteristic size kind of playing on the outside with Waterman, so they need him to make plays like that. Great swooping job by Smith. This follow-up 2 will go.
That's an area that Detroit's really got to address right now is rebounding. Can't afford to give up those offensive rebounds like that, and haven't really found that guy that can get a body on people and make sure that teams are one and done.
Davis, Johnson a catch. Waterman, McAdoo on the floor for Detroit Mercy. It's Norman, Smith, Hastings, Kimball, and Etchison for Western. Antoine fading away. A catch is there for the easy land.
Tell you what, a catch, he's an active body. He's all over the place, and that time an arm just came out of nowhere, snagged that one down and was able to put it back in.
He has 6. Etchison thinks about it, thought better after he missed his first. Out of control drive.
About it, I think Boku was probably more of a pure shooter. I think this Leduc is more athletic, can do a lot more other things than Boku did, but it is a resemblance between the two players. They both came from different schools and came in here and been really productive. They found new territory and is comfortable with it.
So Detroit Mercy off to an 8 for 13 start from the field. Western Michigan has gotten a little bit better. They're now 5 for 14. McAdoo back in. Slides it out to a catch. He's 3 for 4 now.
Nice little 15-footer. That'll be able to knock that one down.
Etchison looking to make his mark on this game. Really a breakout game for him versus Valparaiso. They thought they'd see some of that spark off the bench. Even as a freshman, there's a lot to look upon for him going forward. McMillan shoots with 5 seconds left and boings it off the back. McAdoo. Same story. Harvey got a piece of that. Ends up in the hands of Norman. Look to push. Haven't done this a lot today. Smith teeing up at 3 off the inside. And a catch grabs board number 5 already.
He's the man this year on rebounding. There's no question. He's averaging 7 a game and the team's leading rebounder. Definitely got to get some help for him on those boards.
Antoine Davis has had to fight for those shallow openings from 3 today. They've done a good job of getting on him, as most teams have to start the game.
After 4 years, he's so used to it now. He just kind of let the game come to him now.
McAdoo off for Isiani. That's beautiful.
Great pass that time right there. Good fake up and finding Isiani right in the right spot. Isiani knows to follow that ball to the basket and got himself an easy layup out of it that time. Good pass by McAdoo.
Smith battling down low. Harvey got a piece, so did McAdoo, and he's going to commit the slap foul across the chest.
Well, Harvey doing a good job of getting his hands straight up in the air that time and not committing the foul. Forced to miss. So yeah, right here you see underneath the basket, forced to miss, and Detroit's able to get a hand on the basketball, but it goes back to Western Michigan.
Max Smith checks out. He looks a bit gassed to begin this one. Hastings is back in. Etchison desperately trying to get it in as they just stay.
Tell you what, almost forced a 5-second call there.
Maybe the last second and a half. Etchison for three. Got it.
Nice crossover that time. A little Allen Iverson in him on that one. Crossed him over and pulled right up and knocked it down.
5'11", 145-pound freshman out of Indiana. Like what you see. 23-14 Detroit Mercy here. Davis off the screen. Yes.
One of the rare opportunities here this afternoon, but he was able to pull up and knock it down. All he needs is a little bit of room, a little bit of space. Knocked it down.
Shooting 38% behind the long line this year. Has 6 so far today. Etchison, late bounce pass. Good take by McMillan.
Etchison with a great pass that time. Good penetration, nice little drop off for the lay-in.
Looks nothing like a freshman, does he?
He seems to be pretty confident in what he's doing on the court.
A catch, thought about it. Harvey from the free throw line. He'll shoot away. His 3 rebounds, a steal. No official blocks, but has kind of acted in that fashion a few times defensively.
It's a guy they're looking for some big things out of. Had some success at Notre Dame. He's a guy that they know that's capable. He's just got to find his niche here with the Titans.
Martin gives it off for Freeman. First time for him in a game. Or this game, I should say. McMillan, nice soft hook. Here comes McAdoo and company. It's McAdoo, Harvey, Isiani, Johnson, and Davis. An offensive foul.
Got Willie on the moving screen that time. Yeah, he does a good job. He prides himself in getting people open. That time, caught him moving. Sometimes that guard has to wait until he's set to run the player off of him.
His first, the Titans' 4th. Now 4-3. Total tally for these two teams. Martin again off to Hastings. Norman looking to get free. Davis right on him though. Martin for 3 off the side. Hastings scrapping to get the offensive board. Still 16 to shoot. Again, the Titans will double and commit a foul over there. Didn't look like much.
Good double team they had over there. This official was right on top of it though. He probably saw a smack across the arm that we couldn't see from here.
Foul number 13, Johnson.
So that's the first on Matt. 27-18.
Titans in a 1-3-1 zone.
Hastings ducks out of that. 4 to shoot. Off again for Norman before the clock expires. He's been cold so far to begin this one.
Notice Twan with that rotation was right in his face when he let that shot go.
McAdoo gets nothing but nets, the bottom of it that time. So the lead remains where it is. Hastings against McAdoo here. Got the 3 to go.
Doing a better job of moving the ball around. Like you said earlier, they do take a lot of time off the clock, but now they're starting to find their pace in the late goings of the clock and knocking down shots.
A short 5-0 run here for Western. That's significant given how this game started. Deep 3 from Harvey. A good job by McMillan to crash in there, taking advantage of the lack of size down low for Detroit Mercy. Norman got it. Contingent.
Well, it's good to have him back. I tell you, it's it's tough. Some of those games last year, they had to pull for themselves. As to hear the noise and people being back together is really good.
Us talking, could probably hear it on the floor.
No question about it.
But we're on the 3rd level of seating here at Callahan Hall now.
Yeah, they moved us up quite a ways here.
Johnson off again to Waterman. Spinorama didn't like his opportunity, and right there is Norman trying to take it coast to coast. Not quite, as Harvey got in his face. And now they stepped out, I believe.
Wow, the Titans was fortunate that time. There's no foul call on that. And you can see in the transition, Buck Lamar bringing it down top speed, a little bump, a little nudge right there. No call. you know, the rebound right there. Was able to go back up. Body contact, but the Titans came away with a good defensive stop that time.
Clayton Bass, I think, was hoping for a foul call there. Final 5 minutes already this first half. It's been a quick one. Waterman, another catch and shoot. A catch. A chance at it, but Wright bodied him up a bit.
You can see Waterman struggling to find his rhythm. You know, I thought he had a nice shot the first time down. That time wasn't able to knock it down.
And an offensive foul. And I think they disagreed. One said charge, one said block, and now they change it to block.
Right here, nice drive to the basket. Whoa, looks like he was in position that time. Like he took all of that. Looked like a good charge to me. He saw something that we didn't see on that replay. That would have been good enough for a challenge.
The feet were definitely in place.
Possibly could have had a heel on the line that time, and the officials are right there on top of it. They got to move us down closer. We're having trouble from here.
Freeman's first shot is up and good. Josiah Freeman, native of Virginia, was on this team last year as well. That's why it's so hard to see, hey, he's a freshman. Well, what does that mean today? Second-year freshman, third-year freshman. I mean, you could be. I mean, you could have redshirted your first year. You got the year back last year, and now you're in your first year, technically, on NCAA standards.
Freshman with a lot of experience.
This is his second year, but still, they think he's a lot more comfortable this time around. Davis looking to get comfortable from three. Drives this time. Harvey trying to spin out of the pressure here with still 8. Didn't start this way. Western Michigan has rallied. They're on a 9-0 surge right now. Davis trying to end it. Johnson helping out. And around the cylinder wouldn't go.
He couldn't get the roll. Matt Johnson doing a good job of getting in there, rebounding it. See the shot by Davis, and there's Matt Johnson out of nowhere charging those offensive boards and going up, taking the hit, and it just didn't have the basketball gods with it.
Johnson has 4, 2 rebounds, an assist, and a steal.
You know, the Titans are going to have to do some rebounding by committee right now. They're guards, and I think everybody's going to have to chip in. And you know, Noah's capable of rebounding too. I think once he gets himself going and get back on track, he's going to have a strong presence on the boards as well.
Isiani back in for Waterman. Kind of spot time for him. Playing him as much as he's comfortable. 6 minutes so far today.
Well, you can tell he's not himself. You know, we know he's capable of doing some good things, and it may take a little while for him to get himself all the way back on track.
The shots look a little bit more on point, I think, today than they have. Mike Davis said, hey, just, you know, take your time. I know it's frustrating because you know you can play at a certain level, but it's going to take some time.
Well, all shooters have their slumps, and especially when injuries come into play. But I'm sure he's going to be back and back strong.
Norman bricked it.
Ooh.
Right to Harvey. Won't see that very often from Norman.
Yeah, that one was a bad miss.
Catch, look at him. Get in on the offensive glass now. Davis, killer crossover. Couldn't get it to go. Johnson again, back to Davis.
Well, that's uncharacteristic for Davis to miss him like that, but there's the rebounding. I tell you what, everybody, this is what I talked about, a contribution from 2 or 3 different people, from Matt Johnson. They all chipped in on the boards that time, and they came away with a bucket.
I think this is the best we've seen this team rebound this year. That's 8 for a catch alone. Plenty on the offensive glass. There's a little dump in 2 for Max Smith. Rebounding 22-14 in favor of Detroit Mercy. A catch and 1.
Man, I tell you, I like his range. You know, the way he goes to the basket. Kind of reminds me of a guy named Stacey Augman, the Plastic Man. Look at how he stretches out on this right there and able to get it up over the top. He really uses his length and his sides to get in the basket and score. He took the bump and was able to knock it down.
5 of 6 from the floor, 8 rebounds for 10 points so far here today.
That's what they're going to need. They need a number of guys going in there, grabbing those boards. Matt Johnson chipping in. DJ Harvey a little bit around the basket. And we got the full court pressure now with a 2-2-1 press that the Titans have got on, causing Western a little bit of problems here.
34-27 Detroit Mercy. Under 2.5 to play in this first half. McMillan has had his moments, bullies his way in, bricked it, got it back. And a massive humanity gathering on the elbow, and the arrow favors Detroit Mercy.
It's a good thing. Look at all these guys that the Titans got around the basket going after rebounds. From the guards, you see 2 or 3 hands from Titans getting a hand on that basketball, and they're able to tie things up there to get the jump ball and the arrows in their favor.
The hustle is there. And that's what Mike Davis will like. Hustle, efforts, some of his buzzwords certainly. Davis guarded by Etchison. Fading away on the baseline, tipped up by Isiani. Antoine got it back. Here's a catch wide open. Look out off the inside. Pulled down by McMullen.
There's Davis right there in the passing lane.
Johnson
stole the ball.
It.
Great pass over to Matt Johnson. And that's just great hustle all the way around the board. We've seen the momentum change go to Western Michigan when they made their run, and now the Titans has took the momentum back here going near the end of the half.
36-27 Detroit Mercy. Big time rally by them after Western got it within a possession. Smith finds Norman, has been cold from 3, drives in, just able to get that one is Smith. Making sure that spun off just enough. Smith has 7, Norman with 8, McMillan with 4 for the Broncos thus far. A catch, backing down a little bit, the hook won't fall.
Nice little jump hook around the basket, that time a little bit too hard over the top.
High pass for Wright. Doubled quickly. Titans have done that quite a bit so far here today. Etchison. Nice skittering pass to McMillan. And that's last off the Broncos.
The Titans basketball. Yeah, doing a good job down on that low block. Anytime that ball goes into the post, the double team's there right away. But I like the way they get out of the double team and get back to the perimeter shooters. They've been doing a pretty good job of that all afternoon here at Callahan.
So they can take the game clock down to around 5. Game clock to shot clock here. Titans have shot 41% from the field in this first half. Broncos 38. Certainly got better as the half went on. Now their team very good from 3. Johnson trying to put his stamp on it. With 7 seconds to go. And now Etchison will look to run the floor. He's got speed. Rises up, 2 hands.
What about Antoine Davis with only 6 points here in the first half?
Very true. He's 2 of 10, 2 of 6 from 3. Hastings has it on the elbow, drives against Isiani. Some contact there, no call either way.
It's a flopping call, I think, that he called the flopping call on Woolley. Yeah.
So it's a warning the first time you do it.
Well, he had position. He did get bumped. So I think that's just a judgment call by the official.
And more often than not, Woolley is not the kind of guy to do that, per se. He draws a lot of contact, and calls can go either way, but more often than not, he gets those charged calls.
He definitely will take it. There's no question about that.
Harvey puts on the brakes, fires one short. It's Davis, Johnson, Harvey, Isiani, and a catch for Detroit Mercy. McMillan, Norman, Martin, Wright, and Smith for Western. And Johnson with another steal, and he draws a foul. He's been real crafty with those type of plays today.
He's got the long arms. He's definitely got some long arms right here. And you can see right here where he's able to reach in and grab that basketball. And he uses his arms really well. Got out, got the foul. But they need him to continue to keep playing that kind of defense right now. Now they need to capitalize on the steal.
8 points, 4 rebounds, 2 steals. You mentioned at halftime, neither team has had a block recorded. I would say there's some disruptions, if you can call it that, whatever you want to say.
Right, they challenged some, but nobody's really won up, and neither team's got a lethal shot block over there on either side. So
we're trying to adjust something at the table there. So 19-12 left here in the second. 36-31. Detroit Mercy with the lead. Back to Isiani. Drives all the way. Couldn't get it to go. And the tip falls in the hands of Adrian Martin. Junior guard out of Sugar Hill, Georgia. It's been a bit quiet so far today. It's Danny Culp into the ball game. He sat out the Valpo game.
I was watching the last play down the court with Isiani cutting to the basket at time, and he got this wide open, and as you can see the double team. But replay of this play right here. They call a traveling call on it.
Davis looking for some separation. Johnson looking for his first three-point make. Not there.
Both teams really struggling from that three-point line here this afternoon.
Matt Johnson now 0 for 2 from that land. 4 of 16 for the Titans as a team.
Both of these teams got the three-point shooters, but maybe it's a little too early for them to fall.
Smith turnaround three. Hammered down by a catch. Now the Titans looking to run. A catch spinning. And the rim not kind to anybody here in the second half. He finally follows it through.
Well, I tell you, he's active. Missing that shot, he's able to go back up and get his rebound from his own miss and put it back in. And he comes at you like a train. He doesn't stop when he's bringing that ball up the floor.
38-31. The first of 4 shots to fall in for Detroit Mercy in the second half as Culp will draw a foul against Isiani. That's his second, first.
Right here you see Isiani getting there a little bit too late that time, just a second too late. Got both hands up in the air, and I think they call it on a bump with the lower body.
Culp, the native of Petoskey, 6'9", 215-pound junior, averaging around 10 minutes a game this year. Ever been to Petoskey? That's a really nice area.
I haven't been there.
38-33, Detroit Mercy. Trying to pass a little bit too far for Isiani.
Well, that's a tough pass for a big guy. You want to try to get that ball up a little bit higher. That pass was down at his ankles. It's tough for a big guy to get down there and get that one.
So a little bit more of a sloppy start for both of these teams to start this second half. Smith gave it up by catch. Says thank you. Off for Davis, who looks to run. Isiani wide open. A few more passes. Leaves Harvey wide open as well. Got it.
A good catch and shoot. Good ball movement that time by the Titans. They swung the ball around the perimeter till they found that good look that they were looking for, and Harvey was able to knock that one down.
Harvey and Johnson, 2 of the guards for Detroit Mercy, kind of playing that all-around game here today. Scoring, playing defense, rebounding. Norman locked down by Harvey, spins for 3. That's big for him. Let's see if he gets him going here in the second half.
Talking about quick feet.
A catch, lights it up as well.
A catch, you would say it's fair to say that he's a scorer. He gets them in a number of ways, and offensive putbacks and runners, jump shots. Maybe not a pure shooter, but he's a scorer.
13 for a catch thus far, leads both sides.
Oh, Woolley doing a good job that time of half and getting around, getting a hand on that basketball.
Davis from deep, yes!
Davis is looking for his time right now, and we know what he's capable of. He can knock down 3 or 4 of those in a row. I like the way Antoine's letting the game come to him now, not really forcing anything. The double teams are there, and he's making the right decisions with the basketball.
McMillan got it back off for Smith. Here's Martin. 3 ball, got it to go. Max Smith trying to heat up this Broncos offense again.
That keeps the streak going, right?
Yep.
That's the streak.
He's 1 for 5. He is the NCAA leader in terms of making a 3 in every game in a row. 92 now for Smith.
That's incredible. That's one category that Twan is not leading in, but he's probably had a 3, but just not the streak though. But most of his games he knocks down 3-point shots. Inside the arena.
47-39 Detroit Mercy here. Under 15 to play in this second half.
Titans back to the zone defense that they had a lot of success with. 1-3-1. Willie doing a good job on the back line back there, and players are active.
McMillan was active down low in the first half, and that one is heading Detroit Mercy's way again.
And Western is frustrated with this zone, forcing turnovers, and they do such a good job. Anytime that ball gets into the paint, the trap is right there, and they're recovering out of it really well.
That one a 3-second call. It's the 8th turnover for Western. 5 already here in the first less than 6 minutes of this second half, I beg your pardon. Harvey, Johnson, Davis, Isiani, and a catch. Here for Detroit Mercy, it's McMillan, Norman, Wright, Smith, and Etchison for Western. Shot clock down to 3. Isiani wide open. Catch it in.
Man, you can just see the confidence with Willie handling the basketball, making the right passes, and he was ready to shoot that one.
Etchison answers right back.
Got to get back in transition on him.
Davis spots a catch. Nice lay-in.
Great pass that time by Davis, getting in there. Cats noticing the opening, cutting to the basket, and Davis making the right decision on that one.
Titans hot here in the second half. 6 of 11. Only 5 opportunities for Western. They've made 4 of them. We talked about it. The turnovers plaguing them thus far. Isiani sees that bounce off the right knee of Max Smith. Or check that Titus Wright.
I know this is a 40-minute game you have to play here, but defensively, they've been doing a great job most of this game. With the zone, with the press. They showed them a couple of different looks, and once again forced a turnover with a good zone defense.
A catch with another double-double, his 4th already this year. Davis drapes that one short, got it right back, stays on his feet as well. Toying with this defense. And an offensive foul on Antoine off the ball.
Oh, wow.
That's the 3rd as well on Davis.
Matt had a clear lane that time to get to the basket. And Matt's playing a solid basketball game here.
Here, check that, the 2nd on Antoine. There's 3 on Hastings, the other 0 for Western Michigan. Antoine with 2 and nobody else with more than that. 1 each for Isiani, a catch, and Waterman. I take that back. 2 for Davis, 2 for Isiani, 2 for Waterman. Those are your foul numbers. A few others with 1. Down low, Hastings stripped to the basketball.
Harvey doing a good job of not letting him get that ball above his head. As soon as he on the catch, Harvey was able to get a hand and smack that right out.
Etchison will heave this one in. Good pass for Colt.
Got to do a better job right underneath the basket. And close quarters right there. Was able to get the ball to him for an easy lay-in.
Mike Davis calls out a play from the bench here. And got McAdoo back out there. A catch, strong take, got stripped though. Got plenty of time on the shot clock, still 11 to shoot. McAdoo ball on a string here. Scoop and no score. Culp trying to get loose. Isiani got a better piece as his opportunity was blocked.
Tell you, McAdoo's having a struggle offensively. I had a great game up in Toledo where he scored 23 points. He's definitely been known as a guy that can put the ball in the basket, and it's probably just a matter of time before he finds his way.
Nonchalant pass for Isiani. Banks it in. How about it?
Well, you can see the teammates has definitely got confidence in Isiani, and Davis with a behind the back pass that time.
2 for 2 from three-point land here today. Norman trying to answer. He's been cold from 3. And everybody trying to grab at the basketball there. See what they get. A catch with the hold. That's his first of the game. So you see the three-point opportunity.
And everybody's on top of the ball right there. But you see 3 Titans inside of that paint. And we're out.
The Horizon League is comprised of 12 public and private institutions located in some of the largest and most vibrant cities in the country. There are 11.5 million television households in the Horizon League footprint, and viewers consume more than 35 million minutes of Horizon League action in 2020-21. To learn more, visit horizonleague.com. 55-43, Titans coming off an Isiani 3. Western Michigan looking to get this offense going. They've had a lot of turnovers here in the second half. 6 of them already. 9 total. Detroit Mercy with 6 total. Etchison, little teardrop pass. That's an offensive foul again. There's Isiani.
Well, no flop on that one. He stayed in there and took all of the contact, made sure he got every bit of it that time, and held him up. He fell once he got in the air.
Isiani's gotten so good at taking charges.
Right here, you can see him moving his feet, anticipating. Right there. Good call by the officials that time.
55-43. Just over a half of a half to go here. Johnson trying to keep the three-point party alive. He does.
Man, you see the maturity of Isiani. He didn't even think about taking that three. That handoff and that extra pass is the reason why they were able to find Matt Johnson wide open in the corner.
Titans have made 10 tonight. Just 5 three-point makes for Western. And it'll stay that way. Isiani, Johnson, Davis, a catch. McAdoo on the floor right now for Detroit Mercy. It's Norman, Smith, Hastings, Etchison, and Culp. Step back, fade away, knifes it through.
Man, you're talking about that's a real step back. That's a grown man move right there. Jeez.
He has 12, his 4th three-point make. Keeps adding to that record, making it a bit less harder to chase. Smith around his screen.
It's his second three-pointer this afternoon.
Western hanging around, but things starting to slip away a bit more here in half number 2. Can Davis heat up fully here in the second half? Good pass for Isiani. Troubles out to McAdoo. A catch. Towering his way through.
Oh, good pump fake that time by Isiani. Knowing what he can do underneath the basket. He knowing he wasn't going to jump over everybody, but he gave him a nice head fake and was able to finish.
Etchison block. No, it's a foul. It's a foul. They say on Matt Johnson. Willie Isiani was in the area, and the Boo Birds are out at Callahan Hall.
Well, you gotta love the activity. I mean, those guys are getting after it defensively. You can see Titans defensively gathering, the conversation they're having amongst each other. Go up, look like it clean from behind. Maybe he's got a piece of his hand or his arm or something, but it looked like a clean block.
We are still without a block, officially.
No block party this afternoon. Oh, as Rasheed Wallace would say, the ball don't lie. The ball don't lie.
This one might.
Another look at it right here from behind. No, let's see. See if the ball lies.
Etchison today has played quite a bit. 18 minutes, 4 points, 3 assists. Showing flashes of what he can do.
We, 50-50 on that, so.
Jogs the point total up to 47. Johnson had his pocket pick there. Etchison, spinorama off the glass and in.
This kid, Etchison's exciting. I tell you, nice spin that time inside the lane, get it high up off the glass. Didn't look like a freshman move there.
McAdoo guarded tightly there by Wright. Looking off for Coca. Couldn't find him. Bly Coca just checking in. 7-1, 2:02.
We might get that first shot block now.
Norman backing up, and the cleanup will fall.
Well, we know that Western's going to make a run. It's a lot of time left in this ball game right now, and they'll definitely make a run at the Titans. They have to continue to keep playing. It's a 40-minute game.
63-51. Western Michigan now shooting 67% from the field here in the second half. Davis guarded by Etchison. He'll commit his second foul.
Davis is not settling for the three-point shot that time, looking to attack and go right at him. He was able to draw the foul. Some crafty ball handling here. Here you can see him sizing him up right here, not thinking about that three-point shot. No step backs, looking to go right at him until he was able to force the foul.
Gets him to pump fake there. Buries his way to the wing and rattles its way through. Five of 10 from the three-point line is Antoine Davis for 15 points and 8 assists. Looking for another double-double. Etchison off the side, and Antoine ends up right in his lap. The lob for Johnson, or maybe intended for Coca. He does get it anyway. The reverse glassers through.
Coca using that length and that skill underneath the basket at 7 feet. Just stuck some arm. I don't think he jumped on that shot to this basketball game.
It's Hastings at the line, rims off. Western Michigan shooting just 70% from the free throw line coming into play today. The Titans at 77%, and he missed both. In key fashion, 68-51. Detroit Mercy with the lead, with a chance to push it to 20. Matt Johnson has 11 and 5, 2 assists and 2 steals as well. A catch off the inside, pulled down by Wright.
Oh, near steal that time by Antoine Davis.
He's buzzing around today. I think the home crowd might have given him a bit of a boost, getting off that 9-game road swing. 7 straight at home for Detroit Mercy in a travel.
Well, the Titans getting the breaks here. 2 missed free throws and now a turnover they have to capitalize. You want to get an opportunity to try to put this team away.
This is the second of 3 straight MAC contests for Detroit Mercy. They'll wrap it up with Central Michigan next Sunday and host Youngstown State, Robert Morris, Oakland, Milwaukee, and Green Bay.
We got some good ones coming up.
Yeah, Oakland and Milwaukee should be 2 huge tests. Coca swarming in.
Man. Coca going up, getting it, grabbing that rebound and finishing.
70-51 Detroit Mercy. The fans are taking home Buddy's Pizza here today as well as they announce it to the crowd. And that one will rain home from 3 from Freeman. Small sample size for Freeman, but he shot the 3 well coming into today. A catch, Harvey, Coca, Davis, and Johnson out there. It's Davis from the elbow. Pulled down by Hastings.
Solid shot. Wasn't able to finish that one. Titans need to be patient with the basketball now, burn as much clock as they can and get quality shots each time down the court.
Martin weaving his way through, tipped a couple times, chucking it up again. And a foul call drawn by Smith. It's the 6th of the half by Detroit Mercy. That's the same total they had at the end of the first.
Coco makes it a little bit more difficult when you got a 7-foot frame inside the paint down there. It's kind of hard to score over. The initial one he stopped, and second time that offensive rebound is what cost him.
He might just be making a case, besides that last foul, for some more playing time.
Well, they're definitely going to need his presence during the course of the season. You know, with Noah Waterman working his way back into the fold. We're looking at the effort from all these guys without a Noah Waterman. You can imagine what it's going to be like once he gets his game going.
There's your substitutions. Kimball for Western Michigan, McAdoo and Isiani. To correct the foul. It was, I think, recorded wrong on the board. So that was the delay. So Isiani will chase out Coca. McAdoo for Johnson.
Solid minutes for Boyd Coca coming off the bench, and that's what you expect. You be ready when your number's called, and you know that could reward you some playing time when you play like that with a limited amount of time.
Kimball is in. Norman is out. He struggled again today. It's a guy averaging 19 a game and leading the MAC in scoring. 70-55 Detroit Mercy, trying to stretch it even further. A catch with another hook. He's 0 for 2 on that so far today.
Looks like he got magnets for that ball on his hands. He's able to get all of his missed shots back.
Davis got another, his 6th 3 of the game. 6 for 12.
Slowly climbing the ladder here in the point category. Only 6 at the half.
Now 65 away from the all-time record. And that's real now. I mean, you looked at it at the beginning of the season as, you know, 100 plus, and you're like, okay, you know, he's going to have to stay healthy and he's going to have to do his thing. And theoretically, by the midpoint or so, it'll happen. But 65 points for a guy who can score in bunches.
He's going to be able to get that. Good rebound that time by DJ Harvey, another guy that's contributed on those boards this afternoon.
That one just rimmed off. A catch got a piece. Isiani as well, and I believe off the right hand of Isiani.
Titans have had this energy all afternoon, attacking those boards and going after these loose balls.
Kyle LeGrier will see some time.
And here's a guy that's interesting. Kyle LeGrier is his 2nd year as a Titan, and he's really started to, you can see the improvement between his freshman year and now, and not getting a lot of playing time, but he's finding some minutes for him to get out on the court and rewarding him for his efforts every day at practice.
Certainly came from a basketball school, Cass Tech. Downtown Detroit. 73-55. Just over 4 to play in this game. Atchison, offensive foul.
Yeah. Now see, when you come off the bench, he's been sitting there all game long. You know, and the first thing you do is come in the game and take a charge. You know, and that's how you want to start it off when you get that opportunity. Show something positive right away.
Mike Davis even said as much after the IUPUI game. He wished he would have played him a little bit more in the non-conference to get him ready for conference, because he's really their second ball handler. There's not a lot of other guys he trusts right now giving off those duties with Antoine out. McAdoo has done it a little bit. Johnson at times. That one taken away by Freeman. Atchison challenged by LeGrier, and he gets called for a foul this time.
Says his background is he grew up on a farm, and he's used to hard work, and it's kind of translating from working on the farm to working hard out on the basketball court.
And Clayton Bates, his head coach, said, hey, he's fearless. He's not afraid of any opponent, any player. He comes into the game with the same mindset as any other. Western Michigan has some big-time games certainly coming up, even before their starts of MAC play. We'll take on Notre Dame just before Christmas on the 20th. And then start MAC play right after that against two of the best predicted preseason, Toledo and Ohio. Davis, ball on a string, spinorama, got the roll.
And he's showing the whole package that time. Some clever ball handling, a nice spin, fade back off the shot, knock it down.
He has 20. Just a couple below his average. Right back up there, top 5 in the nation in scoring points per game once again. Not a surprise.
It's just doing it a little differently this year. You know, a lot of patience, getting other people involved. Assist totals went up. Good job of running the teams, showing those leadership skills in his senior year.
2,259 points to this point. Harvey got it blocked. Nice elevation by Titus Wright.
Titus wasn't having none of that.
Norman looking to answer. Scuffled from 3 so far today. Now 3 for 11. Stuck on 11 points. Averages 19. The Titans are content to kill it off a bit here. McAdoo back to Isiani. His 3rd triple today.
You can tell that he's feeling it. He's been working on it every day in practice, and I tell you, that work's paid off. You get those shots up every day, and you know, you start feeling good about it. And right now, that basket's as big as the ocean for Isiani.
He has 15 and 3. A couple assists, a steal. 28 gritty minutes for number 41. And for a team that's kind of struggled to score, surprisingly, through their first 9 games, that's a big uplift if 41 can make some threes for you.
Well, no question about it.
LeGrier back to McAdoo, 2 to shoot. McAdoo backs up, fades away, not quite. And LeGrier and Davis combined for that. Isiani back out to McAdoo. Team effort, but can't get it for 3.
Man, you got to love the hustle by Antoine Davis. McAdoo, you got to give him that one. You work that hard and get that wide open look like that. That was a dive to the floor. You got to knock that one down.
And that would have been his 10th assist as well. One away from his 2nd double-double of his career. 20 points, 9 rebounds. Harvey is out. Jeremy Shaw is in.
It's an interesting guy, a junior college transfer that was in the starting lineup. Haven't seen any action here today, and he's a guy that's got his feet wet in that starting lineup for a few games.
Averaging about 13 minutes a game is Shaw. Certainly could score and rebound at the JUCO level. Davis looks ultra confident right now. Splits it outside again for McAdoo. Still 15 to shoot, 109 on the game clock. McAdoo out to Shaw. Jeremy able to tuck it through off the back of the iron.
It's pretty good off the bench. A rebound, a bucket, you know, in less than a minute.
Everybody trying to earn their playing time as conference season rolls along, really, for both of these two teams. There's a lot to be had for both of these lineups. I mean, Western Michigan, 9 new faces out of 15 on this roster.
I would think fatigue kind of played a factor in that Kent State game, and they didn't play a solid game. I watched a little bit of that, and they looked fatigued. But today, the energy's there.
Some more good passing. McAdoo finds it there.
And that's what we know McAdoo can do.
Titans have 21 assists today, 11 for Western. Shaw can allow his team to dribble the timeout. The first time fans have been in this building in a long time. They're up and roaring here today. 83-64 your final score as Detroit Mercy picks up win number 3 on the year.
Tell you what, the Titans didn't let them down. A victory and some pizza.